Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Essential Oils 101. It's going to be a super fun class. Just give it 30 seconds for a few of you to jump on. Tracy, there's Agnes. Hopefully you're all warm with a cup of tea. I've got tea and water and all the things going on here. Okay. Welcome. Okay, let's just get into it. I'm super excited to share with you guys tonight. The Essential Oils 101 intro class is one of my absolute favorite classes to teach on. It is the basics, but you always learn something new. That is the best part. So join in, hang out, grab a cup of tea, Ningxia spritzer, cozy blanket, and just be ready to learn some really fun tips on how to use your essential oils and the basic starter kit. So this is going to be a great class if you have like friends or family that have seen you use the product and are just wondering what is this crazy essential oil train all about. This is a live class that you would definitely want to have them check it out. Or better yet, you can share with them super simply by either just having your product guide or just your oils kit. I'm going to be going through this oils kit here and just sharing with them how you use it and the benefits that you've had. Most people just love to hear personal stories of how it's benefited you and your family. And, you know, we now are in an age where people don't want to buy from advertisements on TV or on billboards. They want to hear from people they love who are sharing something that actually works for them. So that's why Young Living is so awesome, is it's really just that. It's just people sharing what they love and what's worked for them and helping give natural alternatives to over the counter. So we are going to get started. I have some fun giveaways throughout the class that we'll do, and I always post those after. So stay tuned. Make sure that you're commenting and just being involved in the class. So yeah, we've got lots more ladies jumping on. There's Shirley and Dorothy and Sarah. Awesome. Okay, so first and foremost, why do we love Young Living? So Young Living is an incredible company. I have used their product personally for the last 8 years. I guess I'll give you a little intro of me. Most of you do know me, but there are some new people tuning in. So my name is Megan Baldwin. I am a platinum leader with Young Living, and I personally just started using the products when my oldest daughter was 5.5 months. And when I was pregnant, we started looking into essential oils, but we're super overwhelmed because there's so many brands out there and you actually don't know what is good. And even though bottles will say pure, that's not always the case. So we will get into that a little bit more. But while I was pregnant, my midwives had actually recommended trying Young Living and essential oils. And we didn't jump on board right away. And I definitely regret not trying them sooner, but it took a little bit of struggle, which usually happens as new parents with our daughter, with sleeping and digestion, nursing, all of those new things. And so through knowing different people, one of our chiropractors invited us to an event that was like a natural birth trade show, and it was screening the movie The More Business of Being Born, which is all about natural birth. If you have not seen those documentaries, it is incredible. I think natural birth is such a fascinating thing. It's what God has designed, and it can be so beautiful. So you just have to kind of explore it a little bit more and learn about it to know how you can do that yourself, if that's something that you're interested in. So we go to this trade show, this natural birth screening. And after, there was little vendors of natural practitioners. So there was acupuncturists, therapists, midwives were there, chiropractors, all those kind of things, to meet people in those industries. And while my husband and I were kind of walking around, my husband actually ran into a young man and his mother, who is an acupuncturist and physiotherapist, and they were educating on Young Living essential oils. And when my husband learned that lavender was supportive for sleep and that it came in this cute little bundle, he was like, sign me up. So he ran and found me and said, there's all these little oils, we have to try them out. We went for it, got the whole kit, and got them home. And I'm so serious, within a matter of days, we were noticing like our daughter was sleeping better because we were diffusing and applying oils to her feet. We were calmer. There was just so many little things that worked. When she had an upset stomach, we would use oils and it would help. And it just made me so much more confident as a mom to know that I have these little bottles that are kind of like my tool belt, right? My little Swiss Army knife, my natural first aid kit, so that when we have those things pop up, because we know that we're going to, I have a solution that I feel comfortable putting on my child. And that doesn't mean I have to run to the doctor every time something happens. And granted, we love our doctor, our natural doctor, all of that kind of stuff. There's a place and a time for those things. But it's just so amazing to be able to deal with this stuff at home. So we got our little oils, and naturally I started telling people about them because they were so amazing. And so that's kind of what leads to today of me still teaching and educating on why I absolutely love these products and know that you need them too. So the company has amazing integrity. They're a super transparent company. So any question you have, they will give you like a straight up answer. I've had the opportunity to be at a number of their farms all over the world. And we've been to Ecuador, United States. They've got one in Northern Canada. They have some in Europe. And when you go there, you actually get to see the whole process of what they do. And they're super open with how it works, because they want us to know that what we are getting in those little bottles is actually what they say it is. It's not just a marketing thing. They've got unmatched selection. So Young Living has the most selection of essential oils in all of the world. They are the world leader in essential oils. So they have amazing experience with over 25 years of established company, and many, many years prior to that with the founder, Gary Young, actually doing research with the essential oils. And then the quality is like nothing you will ever try. I, back in the day, when I first started learning about like natural wellness, would get something called oil of oregano. And I just noticed I still had this. I use it as like a teaching tool sometimes. But this oil of oregano I did get from a health food store. But the one thing is you don't know where it's grown. You don't know, it doesn't say if it's organic seed. You don't know if it's followed all the steps along the way. And it's actually diluted by 75% in coconut oil. Nope, extra virgin olive oil, which will go rancid. So I do think this is actually rancid. Still kind of smells like oregano, but that's why people will take droppers of these and drop it in their mouth. But if you were to use Young Living's oregano, it is not diluted. It is 100% pure. You don't want to put that directly in your mouth. You'd want to use it in a capsule. But so there's a really vast difference in essential oils. So what Young Living has is called the seed to seal process. What that means is they actually monitor from the seed, so having the best possible seed that they can have, through cultivation, which is like just knowing the proper cultivation and the proper time. The distillation, it's gentle proprietary techniques that are in place that help to keep the therapeutic qualities of the plant intact. So they need proper temperature, proper pressure. They need to harvest at the proper time of year. Like, there's so much that goes behind it. And then they also test. They test internally multiple times. So as soon as an oil is distilled, it's tested. When it's transported from the farm to the warehouse, it's tested. When it's bottled, it's tested. They test third party as well. So it's tested so many times to know that nothing has been changed from that perfect quality that we should have. And then they seal it in their own warehouses and ship it directly to your door. So they monitor the whole process, where most companies can only monitor like maybe a quarter of that. Most companies buy their oils from third party. There's videos online that you can see, like people buying essential oils that are in plastic bottles and transporting it, which we know too that essential oils should never touch plastic. If it's pure, it would actually break it down. So it's really, really important that we know that they're following these guidelines to make sure that we're getting what God designed. Plants were put on the earth for healing. It's actually written in the Bible, and it's many times throughout and other transcripts outside of the Bible that plants and herbs are used for healing. So if we can be sure to steward that well, we're going to be able to use that to heal our bodies. And I truly believe that God is the ultimate healer, but we have been given tools to help and support that process. So I just think that's really important to know. That's what I feel is the most important part of Young Living, and I continue to tell people about it is because of this whole seed to seal, and it's absolutely incredible. Okay, so that gives you a little bit as to the why for Young Living. Now we're going to jump into essential oils and the ways to use them. So essential oils can be used in multiple ways. The most common ways is, number one, using it aromatically or diffusing it. So I'll turn this a little bit. I've got a little diffuser, I'm pointing, but over here. So I've got one pumping right now. The starter kit also comes with a diffuser. This is how it looks. And that is adding essential oils to your diffuser with a little bit of distilled water and getting it into the air where you can breathe it in. So it helps to impact emotionally, because when we're breathing it in, it's going through the olfactory system, which is directly correlated with your brain. But it's also helping to purify the air and those kinds of things as well. The second way to use it is topically, which means applying it directly to your skin. You can apply 2 to 3 drops. I love oil, so I usually use more than that depending on the oil. You can also apply them to the palm of your hands, rub it in, cup it over your nose and your mouth, and inhale. So just having that time for it to breathe it in. So it's on your skin and you're breathing it in. And you can do that with or without a carrier oil, depending on the essential oil. And the third way is using it as a dietary supplement. So Young Living has, it's called a plus line. So some of the bottles, and I don't have anyone, actually I'm going to show this to you. I should have had these out. So some of the oils, the bottles look a little bit different. So for example, this month there's promos that you can get items for free. So I got these 2 oils for free. They're both spearmint, but one spearmint is in a solid label. And this is also an NHP, and then, which is a natural health product registered with Health Canada. And then the other label, this is also spearmint, but it's a white label. And at the bottom here, you can't really see it very well, but there's a little plus sign. So what this means is, so Health Canada is complicated in how things work, but they do not allow a product to be registered for topical and aromatic use as well as dietary. So what's in these bottles is the exact same thing, same oil, same product, but the labels are different. So hopefully that makes sense. If you guys feel free to pop it into the comment thread here, and if I can't answer it live, I will get back to it. So this spearmint technically is for topical or aromatic use. This spearmint is for dietary, so using it for food flavoring, adding it to your water, any sort of dietary way you would use oils. I'm trying to keep this super compliant, so if you have more in-depth questions, feel free to reach out to me. But that's just an explanation of why sometimes there's two oils with different labels, but be assured it's the exact same thing in the bottle. Sorry. Excuse me. My kids have been getting over a cold, so of course, me as well. Okay. So it just makes it so much better. Okay. So those are the 3 ways to use your oils. The other thing you need to know before we get into each oil is essential oil safety. Essential oil safety is just being wise. So when you start using your oils, start with a little bit at a time. So 1 or 2 drops, see how your body feels and reacts. You know your body best. A doctor can't tell you, like how your body feels best. Only you know that. So use 1 or 2 drops, and if you're not getting the desired effect, instead of adding like 10 drops the next time, you can do a little bit, so 2 or 3 drops, but 15 minutes apart or 30 minutes apart. So doing a little bit, but more frequently. So you can apply oils neat onto the skin, which just means applying onto the skin straight up. Or the other option is to use a carrier oil. Young Living has a carrier oil called V6, which is just a vegetable-based oil that you can use to dilute the oils. And when I say dilute, that does not mean that it lessens the effect of the essential oils. It actually just slows the absorption into the skin. So it makes it slow down so you don't have that process of, when you apply oil into your skin, it's like in your bloodstream through your body in like 30 seconds. It's super fast. So when you apply a carrier oil, it's just slowing that down a little bit. So for hot or spicy oils, which we'll talk about, so something like peppermint, it's got a very cooling effect. For some people, if you don't like, I love the feeling of it, but if you don't, you would add just a little bit of carrier oil. You don't need very much. You never want to use them with water. So if you ever find that you have any sort of irritation, so an example would be you're taking some peppermint, you're applying it to your temples to help with a headache or just to cool you off. When you're applying it to your temples, it is close to your eye. It's not that you even got them in your eye, but sometimes you can just feel it and it's a little bit strong. If you need to calm that down, just the tiniest bit of carrier oil, just apply it over where you put the essential oils and you will feel it like instantly slow down the absorption so that you don't have that same effect. And then obviously don't apply to sensitive areas like in your ears, in your eyes, in your private areas. Make sure that you're following a reference material or reference kind of information if you're doing anything different than the normal application. And then for carrier oils, if you don't use Young Living's V6, you can use things like coconut oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba, olive oil. I would stick to organic, good fatty oils. I wouldn't use like or those types that would be genetically modified. Okay, so that is the basic information when you are getting started with your oils. Oh, sorry, Shirley's having some troubles with it breaking up. Just so you know, if there is moments that it breaks up because I'm on Wi-Fi in the country, when you watch the replay, it will be totally perfect. So sorry about that, ladies. Okay. We should be okay. So give me some thumbs up if you can see me and hear me now. Is that starting to work a little bit better? I hope. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So if there's anything that you miss, you can definitely pop back on and watch the replay. This will be up and you can invite friends. Looks like you guys are able to hear me, so I'm going to keep going here. So this is the premium starter kit that you would get. It's this beautiful little box with lavender fields on it. So in this box, we're going to open it up. And there is some great information in here on how to use your oils. And then this little part just pops out, which is great, and stands up. And there is some hidden gems under here. So we'll talk about those as well. Okay. Get these oils out here. So I'm just going to briefly go through each one, just to give a couple uses that you can use to share with people. The best thing is to use them on yourself, use them on your family, use them on your friends, get those personal testimonials, because it's so easy to forget how amazing these oils are. And if you're not using them, you're never going to notice. So it's super important just to get them on your body. The days that you're just feeling down, you're emotionally not with it, like any oil, anything is better than nothing for sure. So, okay. First thing I'm going to talk about tonight is lavender essential oil. Lavender it's a lovely scent. It wasn't my first favorite. It's very floral, obviously, because it's from the lavender plant. But this oil, guys, is like the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. It has so many uses. It's actually registered with Health Canada as a natural health product, which means they recognize this as being supportive for sprains, strains, and rheumatoid arthritis. So it can be super supportive to the body. It's also known for its calming effects. So bedtime, you can apply to your earlobes, the bottom of your big toe, diffuse it, apply some to your pillow. We use this almost every night with our kids. We switch up which ones that we use, but lavender is super cost effective. So I can just put a whole bunch in their diffuser and turn it on for a good night's sleep. It's also known to help with cough and colds and headaches. So lavender is one of those awesome oils to always have on hand. I have one literally in my car, in the kitchen, in the kids' room, in my bedroom. Like I have some in my office. Like we have it everywhere. It's one of those oils that if things happen, it's a great one to put on because it's super gentle on the skin. It's also amazing for like cuts, burns, and bruises, those kinds of things. So when you're out and about, you're at the park with your kids and they fall down, it's just like one of those you grab and put on. Or same with yourself, working in the kitchen, slice your finger. So I love lavender. Next up is peppermint. Peppermint is a super common oil. People love peppermint. They think of like Tiger Balm, those things, but the ingredients aren't super natural. So, when you smell it, anything else peppermint does not measure up because this is so potent. 1 drop of peppermint is actually equivalent to 28 drops of peppermint tea. So you think, what is peppermint tea good for? It's good for things like upset stomach, those things. So you can apply topically to your abdomen with this one because it is kind of that hot coolie effect. And if you're applying it to your abdomen for any sort of upset stomach, I like to use a little bit of carrier oil just to really get it kind of all over the abdomen, and you will feel relief almost immediately. This one also comes in a plus oil, so I love to add it to my tea. Sometimes I'll just use hot water and raw honey and a drop of peppermint. Tastes absolutely amazing. But it is also registered with Health Canada. So peppermint is known to be naturally anti-inflammatory, so great for sprain, strains, arthritis, muscle pain, gym injuries, like anything like that that's pain related, because that cooling effect. What else? Yeah, so for digestive, it's naturally like anti-spasmodic and carminative, which just means it's going to calm down that digestive system. So that is one of the reasons why it works so well. So I love me some peppermint. Sarah says, I need another diffuser. I put both of mine in my daughter's room. My eldest has allergies and asthma, and it has made a world of a difference. I diffused peppermint in her room every night. Now she sleeps and breathes better. See, these are like the reasons why it makes us want to continue to tell people about it. It makes such a difference in people's lives. Thank you so much for sharing. And I hear you. I probably shouldn't tell you guys some diffusers I have. I have many that I haven't even opened yet, but we have, like, I have one in my office. I have 2 offices in my home that I use. So one on the main floor, one on the downstairs, that I have an office and storage area for Young Living stuff, with diffusers. Our 2 bedrooms, like spare rooms downstairs, have diffusers. Our living room has one. Our kitchen area has one. Every bedroom upstairs, so my husband's room, the girls' room, my son's room, like we all have one. When I travel, I take a diffuser with me. It's just one of those things that I sleep better, I'm emotionally better, all of it. So I hear you. You can never have too many diffusers, that's for sure. Okay. Next up, I'm going to share about lemon essential oil. So lemon is another beautiful, beautiful oil. There's something about citrus. So all citrus oils are very calming and relaxing to the body. They're calming. They actually emotionally uplift you. So when you smell citrus, even if you think cutting a fresh orange or cutting a fresh lime, the feeling that you get when you smell that fresh fruit being cut, it just perks people up. So it's really, really great for just emotionally uplifting. It's also amazing for coughs and colds. So this is one actually that works really well with little kids. Fevers or just not being totally off. Lemon is quite gentle. So when my kids weren't well, when they were really little, I would actually apply a drop or 2 of lemon down their spine and just massage it. And it would really help with the fever and cold, flu, whatever they were going through. One thing to note is, and peppermint is also great for fever because it also helps to lower the body's temperature. But one thing I want to point out, even though I mentioned that, is God has designed fevers for a purpose. Fevers are actually very, very good. Now, I don't want any hate mail. There is extreme temperatures that I understand that, but our body needs to go through the fever on purpose to kill off what's going on in our system. So what happens is when we treat fevers with things like Tylenol or ibuprofen or whatever they do over the counter nowadays, and that brings the temperature down, it's often likely that your child will get more sick because the body's defense to kill off whatever's going on, it doesn't have the temperature to do that. And I don't know all the science terms behind it, but I do know for a fact that that's true. A little aside story. We had our first week back to school last week, and my kids had like a little bit of what was going around over the Christmas season, but they would like have a little something, get over it super fast, which is typically what happens in our house. But on the Sunday before school was supposed to start last week, my oldest daughter was really just quiet and wanted to lay down, and which isn't in her character. Like, she likes to play and be busy. And so I asked her if she wanted to go outside and play in the snow. She's like, no, I just want to stay inside. And she went and like got a blanket and laid on the couch. which normally if she stayed inside, she'd want to color or like watch a show or do something, but like not being with her little siblings. And when I went over to check her, I could tell that she was a little bit warm, but thought, I'm just going to leave her. And then later on as the day goes, like by supper time, she didn't feel like eating. So I just kind of suggested, you know what, let's get you in your PJs and you can lay in bed. And she basically put herself to bed. She slept all night for like 13 hours, got up the next morning and was still a little bit warm, but like low grade fever. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep you home. You can rest like all day, like read books, watch some TV. Those are the days to get some extra and just totally chill out, have naps. So she rested all day Monday. We went, put her to bed super early, slept for another 13 hours, woke up Tuesday and was like 100% fine. So tiny bit of a fever, but like no runny nose, no cough, no, like nothing else. And so 2 days after that, we had our chiropractor appointments, and I absolutely adore our chiropractor. And I was kind of explaining it to her, and she just went on to say, you know what, it's so true, because our bodies need that temperature to deal with what was going on. So she had said, if I would have like had her too busy or didn't give her that time for her body to rest, it's going to manifest into something more serious, and they'll have, you know, a fever plus a cough and a, like, things will snowball and they'll get sicker essentially. So super important to let your kids really just go through that fever. There's ways that you can keep them more comfortable, like by having baths and using oils and lots of rest, but just always know that it's not a terrible thing. So that's my mom rant for you. Other couple things with lemon is cleaning. It's amazing for cleaning. So it gets rid of gum residue type stuff. So if you think about, like, say you go and buy a new glass and it has a sticker on it for the price tag, oftentimes those are super hard to get off. And I used to use super toxic things like Goo Gone and all of that kind of stuff. But literally you take a drop or two of lemon, it'll break down that residue and you can wipe the sticker off. Like, it works amazing. So what citrus oils do is break down petrochemicals, which are plastics, and rid it. So when you're using the plus lemon in your water, it's actually cleansing your cells. So it's super, super good to be consuming in your water. Okay, next up we have, next one is called Copaiba. This is a gem. Most people kind of forget to use this one, but it is such a beautiful oil. It actually acts as an amplifier. So anytime you're dealing with things like pain or anything like that, you need a little extra support. So for example, you hurt your knee and super sore, you want to use some peppermint to help with that. When you add a few drops of Copaiba on top, it actually amplifies the effect. It's naturally really, really, really high in anti-inflammatory properties. It has some properties that are similar to what is in CBD. So CBD is a total another ballgame and an amazing product on its own. But this is very anti-inflammatory, so great to use for any sort of inflammation things. It also has a condition that helps to calm and relax the body. So what I had learned from a friend actually just recently is she takes the Copaiba and puts a couple drops under her tongue, which has helped her to not experience anxiety like she had in the past. So it's totally helped her not feel as anxious. So that's been something that I've been doing, because it's something that I struggle with once in a while, is just having that anxiousness. It's also anything skin related. So skin support, blemishes, owies, and it's a super gentle oil to use. Okay, and then the last single oil, which actually comes in this bottom portion of your kit, is called the Northern Lights Black Spruce. This oil is so divine. If you like anything tree scented, this Northern Lights Black Spruce smells incredible. It's super calming and grounding. Men usually like it. Super calming for the muscles and relaxing for the muscles. Great to add into the bath. I love this diffused at night or in the day. I think I had it in diffusers too. So I put it in multiple diffusers, and it's just such a great calming, grounding oil. Okay, so those are the single. So there's 5 singles in the kit. And now I'm moving into, we got 6 different blends. Okay, next up is RC. Oh, it smells so good. Sometimes, you just gotta take a minute and enjoy it. Okay, so RC is actually a blend of oils, so a few different oils. It's got eucalyptus in it. What else? Myrtle, marjoram, pine, lavender, cypress, black spruce, and peppermint. A lot of oils in there. It is amazing for respiratory congestion support. RC. Think respiratory and congestion, which works really well. So coughs, colds, anything related to that, you can apply it to your chest. I would recommend to start diluting it if you're applying it to your chest and your back, but it's what I use as an alternative to like Vicks rub. Wonderful diffuse too, especially diffused with kids to help breathe better. Lots of people like to use this with working out because it opens your airways and kind of like oxygenates your body. It's a really great way to use for working out, and also can support with soothing muscles. So, and speaking of soothing muscles, next up is this Pan Away, aka Pain Away is what I call it. It smells so amazing. It's a blend with wintergreen, helichrysum, clove, and peppermint. And helichrysum is that key like powerhouse ingredient in this oil that is at a cellular level like heals. If you Google, I don't know, Google's not the best search engine, but go onto a search engine called DuckDuckGo and Google or look up the benefits of helichrysum. It's a powerhouse essential oil, but it's in this blend. Anyway, is like best used topically, but seriously, anything pain related. Sore ankles, sore knees, you want to relieve some tension on your back, anything like that. It feels amazing on the body. I call it like peppermint on steroids. Like it just has that little extra kick and just works so well. Then we have, this one's called Digize. Think of Digize as digestion. It has an interesting smell. Some people absolutely love the smell. Some people don't love it. But it's a blend of tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, fennel, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli. So this oil, even though the smell is not my favorite, I would still never use that because the support that it gives to digestion. So think of those big Christmas meals when maybe you had indulged a little bit too much and your tummy isn't feeling great. Apply a drop of this to the abdomen, you will feel unreal. Yeah, just some awesome testimonials here. So you guys will have to go back and read some of the tips. So if I'm talking about an oil and you have a testimonial, please share it. I have some giveaways. So for you sharing in the comments, I'll definitely give this away. The other awesome thing with Digize, so it is an NHP that helps with digestive discomfort, but they actually use the Digize oil in the soil to prep the soil for the next time, like the next crop that they grow. And it actually, like, I don't know the proper way to explain it, but like digests the enzymes that aren't supposed to be there and helps the enzymes that are supposed to be there to grow the soil properly. So this oil is really, really cool. I also love to use it in my laundry, which sounds super weird, but I take the Thieves laundry soap and I'll add a couple drops of Digize, especially for my kids' laundry or like my husband's clothes. It like digests the stinky smells. However it does it, I don't know, and it does not come out smelling like digest after, it just digests the stinkiness. And then by the time I put it in the dryer, things smell fresh and amazing. And I don't use fabric softener, nothing. Like I don't put any of that extra stuff in. All I use is oils and it works amazing. So I encourage you to check that out. Oh yeah, Agnes mentioned totally use digest during the holidays. I'm so thankful for it. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, couple more here. Oh, I actually forgot. We have frankincense, and I don't know how I could forget because this is my absolute favorite. It is a single oil, not a blend. It's actually from a tree, and it comes from over in the Middle East from a place called, and it comes from the bark of the tree, kind of. So they slash the bark of the tree, and what happens is the tree, to protect itself, produces a sap. And the sap is what they take to distill the frankincense oil. So it comes from what's called a resin, and it is like amazing. Okay, hold that thought. One, Anna just asked, do you dilute digest and peppermint for under 2? I mixed a bit of lavender body lotion with it. Yes, totally. I would do it with that, with any sort of carrier oil. But that's a great idea to dilute for little ones. Or if you're doing oils like that, just apply to the bottoms of their feet. The best is to apply oils for kids. But back to frankincense, which I love. Frankincense was actually brought to baby Jesus when he was born. It was one of the gifts, so it's listed in the Bible. It was frankincense, myrrh, and gold. The reason why they brought frankincense and myrrh is because of the healing properties in it. And in those times, things weren't as clean and all of that kind of stuff. So frankincense naturally has like amazing constituents in it. If you were to do some research behind testimonials of people that have healed from so many crazy things from using frankincense oil. So I always say, when in doubt, use frankincense because it's good for so many things. It's incredible for the skin. So Young Living actually has a whole skincare line. It's called the Art skincare system, and it has frankincense in it because it's just beautiful for the skin. It helps with like the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and just the glowingness of that. Also really good for respiratory support. And the biggest reason why I love frankincense is it's amazing for emotional support. So it's one of those oils when you put it on, honestly, it makes me melt. It's very grounding, super spiritually uplifting. I use this like every day. I could probably, I use a lot, but it has helped me in so many ways that I could never not have it. So this is at my bedside, it's in my purse, and I use it like all the time. I love it, love it. Okay, last couple. So Purification is another blend. This blend is rosemary, citronella, lemongrass, tea tree, lavender, and myrtle. This blend is super cool because it actually purifies the air. So it gets rid of any sort of odor, unwanted things in the air. So thinking of like, say you're cooking fish or like bacon, like things that are kind of stinky and you don't want that scent in your air, use a little bit of purification and it will like neutralize that. It's very good in the summertime for unwanted pests. So you can apply that to your skin, your clothing, help keep those summer bugs away. It's beautiful diffuse, so you can mix it with lemon, use it, purify the air. But it also naturally like works as a disinfectant. So I use it anytime like bug bites or cuts, any of that kind of stuff. I'll apply a little bit to clean it out, and it actually also helps with the itchy irritation after. And then last but not least, the lemon in the starter kit is the Powerhouse Thieves Essential Oil Blend. This oil is like amazing. This is what Young Living is super famous for, is the Thieves Blend. And it has so many amazing uses, but mainly it's known for causing cold, so really helping to kill off bacteria, viruses, all of that kind of stuff in the air. It's great for immune support. So we actually like to apply this to the bottoms of our feet, especially in the seasons where people are getting sick. Doing it as a preventative is very, very good to build up your immune system. And then also diffusing it in the air helps to kill off the things in our air. There's also studies out there that show how well it is for black mold. So with black mold, it's super toxic to our health. One story, actually, I have, my mom has a friend who, when we first started using Young Living, had a lot of health issues, and we couldn't figure out like what was going on. And she had been to regular doctors, naturopaths, finally saw one natural doctor that said, I think you have black mold in your home. So she, of course, hired somebody to come and use the blue lights and find where it is. And sure enough, they did find a section that had black mold. And of course, they normally recommend, like, you have to leave your house for so long. They spray all this like toxic stuff all over the place to try to get rid of it. But she had decided to just try an alternative. And I had read some studies, reached out to her and said, like, I think this can work. If you want to try it out, I can lend you this stuff. But you can buy pure oil diffusers where you actually screw the essential oil right into like the diffuser instead of adding it to water. And it atomizes it into teeny tiny particles in the air. But I wish she would have videotaped it, but she didn't think about it at the time. But she said she could literally see the black mold, because you couldn't see it from the naked eye. But after she started diffusing with her naked eye, she was able to see the black mold like coming out of the walls, like out of the stucco and drywall and all that kind of stuff, coming out and like basically like it was digesting the black mold. She cleaned it with Thieves Cleaner, pure oil diffused, all that kind of stuff, and was able to totally get rid of it, which helped her health in so many ways. So Thieves is just like a powerhouse, amazing oil. Because of that, they have a whole Thieves line. So they have from Thieves foaming hand soap, which isn't antibacterial, which isn't actually good for us, but it naturally kills the bad bacteria and leaves the good that we need. They have the Thieves foaming hand soap. They have Thieves Cleaner, so concentrated cleaner that actually works out cheaper than any other cleaner you could ever buy. So it's a concentrated bottle. You can get like 30 spray bottles out of this concentrate. It works out to less than $1.50 for a Thieves Cleaner spray bottle. They've got Thieves toothpaste, Thieves dental floss, Thieves hand sanitizer, Thieves mini sprays, like so many things. And it's absolutely amazing. So when you notice that, like Thieves laundry soap, so if you think about it, the things that we use all the time, like our dish soap, they have a Thieves dish soap, our hand soap, our hands are immersed in it, our clothing, we're wearing it every day, it's on our skin. Our skin is so permeable, and it's the largest organ on our body. So those things that we do every day, they're actually absorbing into our skin, which goes directly to the bloodstream, which filters through our brain. So if you're wondering why you have brain fog or you're having like respiratory issues, one of the first things to change out is your laundry soap, your cleaner, your hand soap, dish soap, those things in your home that you're exposed to all of the time. And often people have an incredible change in their health of adjustments. So that line is absolutely incredible. Young Living also, like, essential oils are kind of what they were founded on, but because their oils are so amazing, they've expanded to like a massive, great product line. And within that, they've got personal care products, home care products, nutritional supplements used with essential oils. So, for example, they've got Super B, which is a vitamin B supplement. And as it's infused with essential oils, the absorption rate in your body is like massively increased. So my friend, Carla Green, who's an acupuncturist and physiotherapist, she works and owns a clinic in Rocky Mountain House. And she has noticed that she had doctor recommended brands, like kinds that only chiropractors, doctors, physiotherapists, things like that could buy. So the top-notch brands of supplements. And then she started recommending to her patients to just give the Young Living supplements a try. And she was finding that people were getting results in a third of the time. So it was happening way quicker, that their Super B was actually giving them energy. Because what happens is, even though the vitamin percentage may not be super high, because the essential oils are in it, it's more bioavailable, which means your body is able to absorb it easier and integrate it into yourself and into your body. So it's absolutely incredible what Living products can do for your body. In your little starter kit, you actually get these little 2 ml bottles and cards. So they'll have like thieves, frankincense, these little cards that you can put with the sample that have suggested uses for you to share with family and friends. It's a great way if somebody's just wants to see what it's all about. It's a great way to share with people. You also get a little bottle of the hand sanitizer, hand purifier. We love this. I have the big one in my car. My kids have all of these in their backpacks, in their lunch kits. I have one in my purse. When I had a diaper bag, it was in there, like everywhere. You know. You also get a little roller fitment that you can pop onto any essential oil bottle. And then my absolute favorite part is you get samples of Young Living's Ningxia Red. So Ningxia Red is a whole food supplement. It's the awesomeness of it is because it's whole food, you're actually getting the fiber from the wolfberry, but the wolfberry is packed full of amazing nutrients. So this is like your liquid multivitamin, super absorbable. I found I used to get sick. I worked in a bank, so before having kids, and I used to get sick all the time. So I'm exposed to a lot of people. I'm exposed to money. I'm exposed to all of those things that just carry so many germs. And I would get sick often. I would get sores. All of that was affecting my health. When I started using Young Living, I had decided, okay, I'm going to give this a try. So I started drinking 2 ounces a day. And it took me a few months to notice. So this is usually what happens is people will drink it and wonder like, is it really helping me? But as soon as you run out, you will notice you don't have enough energy. Your immune system isn't as good. So that was really what happened. Like I started using it and thinking, oh, it's okay. Like I love the taste. You know, I think it's helping with my energy. But then I realized I hadn't had a cold sore in months. So my immune system was so much stronger from using my oils regularly, using the Ningxia Red. So this hands down is one of my favorite supplements, and I will, if I could take 2 things on a desert island and only 2 things, it would be Ningxia Red and frankincense. Like those are my go-tos for always and forever. So that's kind of a little bit about the beyond with Young Living. One thing is I encourage you, if you're an oil user, this is a must, is having an essential oil pocket reference. They have a big, huge desk reference, which I love and have. But this is great because you can look up each individual product. So you can look up eucalyptus, like what it's all about, the medical properties, ways to use it, but then also it's got diagrams for your feet and your spine. So there's something called VitaFlex, which our bottom of our feet is actually a map to our entire body. Like, our bodies are incredible. So the bottoms of your big toe is connected to your brain. So applying lavender to your big toe is going to quiet your mind. Your next two toes are like connected to your sinuses and your eyes and ears. So applying there can help. You don't necessarily have to be specific like on, I don't know if you can see it very well, on the exact spot, but you can literally apply over the whole bottom of your foot. And the oils are so intelligent, and our bodies are so incredibly intelligent. It knows where to go. Same thing with our spine. It's like our whole body is connected. It's amazing how you can use these oils. Even hands, our hands are connected to different parts in our body. So this is super, super important to have. And then one of my favorite parts is in the back. There is a personal usage guide. So you can look at things like menstrual cramps, and it will give you single oils, blends, suggestions, how to use it. Like, this is my oily Bible. They also have a Gentle Babies book for children, so pregnant, nursing, little kids up to 8-10 years old. And then this is more adult usage, but by far super amazing to have. So if you're brand new tonight, how it works is you would get your starter kit with all of your oils. You get a diffuser, all of that, plus your wholesale membership, which gets you 24% off all products for $199.75. It is an incredible deal. It's more than like $450 worth of product. I seriously can't imagine my life without it. So yeah, and you get to be a part of an incredible team. So we are here as a team to support one another, to help with tips and testimonials, and guide you on this journey. We are a people that are banding together to help one another and improve each other's health and just be in a like-minded community, and it's so incredible to do that. So I do have some giveaways. I've got some samples. These are little quick reference books. So I'm going to be giving some things away. So in order to be entered into the giveaway, please share a testimonial of one of the oils that you've used and how it has helped you personally or somebody that you love to be entered into the giveaway. We have classes every Monday at 7 o'clock. So we will be tuning in next week. I'll post details of that later on this week. But I just want to thank you guys for, I was trying to keep this short, but we're almost at an hour. And I just want to thank you for your time and for learning to better yourself and your health and those around you. I super appreciate it. Feel free to, this group is all about educating and helping you guys use what you have. But we have a model of sharing. So if you know somebody that needs to know this information, feel free to add them to this group. I can help you get them started with a starter kit. The coolest thing is if you have your account and you help your friend get a starter kit, you actually get paid minimum $60, which is amazing. So you help 3 friends and you would actually get your initial investment paid for. So it's such a great model to be able to help more people. So again, thank you all for tuning in. The last question is the Gentle Babies a pocket reference. It is different. I don't have one up here. I could post a picture. The Gentle Babies is a different book than this one, and it's specific for use with pregnancy, delivery, babies, and young children. This one is specific for more like adult usage, so 10, 12, and up, if that makes sense. Awesome. Well, keep the testimonials coming. That is the best way to learn, honestly, is learning from other people and finding new ways to use your oils, because there's literally an unlimited amount of ways that you can use them. And it's just so much fun. So keep oiling. Hope you guys have a wonderfully blessed night. And I look forward to connecting with you all soon. Take care.